नमस्ते, नमस्ते टू एवरीवन। आज इस लाइव प्रोग्राम में सभी को स्वागत है। योग एंड हैप्पीनेस की तरफ से हम लोग आज व्हाट इज योग इसके ऊपर डिस्कशन करने के लिए आए हुए हैं। मेरे साथ सौमेंदु एंड पारमिता भी है। विल डिस्कस इज एज ए वास्ट वे में इनको हम लोग डिस्कस भी करेंगे। आज एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण दिन है। आज हम लोग देख सकते हैं गणेश चतुर्थी के दिन पे इस लाइव प्रोग्राम में आना और इस टॉक शो में सभी को वेलकम भी हम करते हैं। आज का सिग्निफिकेंस बहुत अहम या महत्वपूर्ण भी है। इनको हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे। डिफरेंट डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ योगा का जो डेफिनेशन है, डेफिनेशन ऑफ योग, इसके ऊपर भी हम लोग आज डिस्कस करेंगे। योग डिफरेंट एंगल में, डिफरेंट वे में इनको समझा जाता है। कोई इनको एज ए सिर्फ प्रैक्टिस के रूप में जानते हैं। कोई इसको इनका और भी ब्रॉड एस्पेक्ट में इनको समझते हैं। कोई सोचते हैं कि प्राणायाम ही योग है, कोई सोचते हैं आसन ही योग है। लेकिन एग्जैक्टली योग क्या है ये जानना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। तभी जाके कोई व्यक्ति वो सही रूप से योग को समझ पाएंगे, योग को जान पाएंगे और योग के रास्ता पे वो आगे भी बढ़ सकते हैं। इसीलिए सभी को आज हम लोग वेलकम करते हैं इस श्रृंखला में, जिसमें हम लोग चर्चा करने वाले हैं योग, व्हाट इज योग, इसको डिटेल में। ठीक है। सो Somendu, are you there?
Yes. Yes.
Paramita, are you there?
So I can't speak.
Okay, just be here.
Sorry. No, you just unmuted me. So no. I can hear you and I can speak now. Yes.
Okay. ठीक है. Just wait and prepare yourself for video mode, and we'll definitely be in discussing in detail. Okay.
Right, sir. Am I visible?
Yes, you are visible.
Right, sir.
ओके, सो आज इसके बारे में फर्स्ट हम थोड़ा बहुत डिस्कस कर लेते हैं, देन विल मूव इनटू द डीप ऑफ दिस डिस्कशन अबाउट योगा एंड इट्स एप्लीकेशन, इट्स थ्योरेटिकल नॉलेज एंड एग्जैक्टली योग कहाँ से आते हैं। ये दिस इज एन एंशिएंट इंडियन कॉन्सेप्ट इस योग। आज से हजारों साल पहले ऋषि मुनियों के द्वारा इसको खोज किया गया था। लेकिन ये किसके लिए है एंड योग, इनका इटिमोलॉजी अगर देखते हैं तो ये जोड़ने के लिए बोला जाता है। जूज धातु से आते हैं, संस्कृत रूट यूज धातु, जिनका अर्थ है, जिनका उद्देश्य है जोड़ना। किसके साथ किसको जोड़ेंगे ना, इसमें बोला जाता है जुजुर योगी, जूझ समाधो एंड जूझ संयमे। इन तीनों श्लोक को अगर हम लोग समझते हैं, जुजुर योगी मतलब योग, मतलब युक्त करना। यहाँ पे किसको युक्त करेंगे ना, आत्मा से परमात्मा। फिर जूझ समाधो, जूझ मतलब समाधि, समाधि की तरफ जाना, वही योग है। जूझ संयमे, संयमित होना मतलब नियंत्रण करना खुद को, दैट इज योग। तो इसको और भी हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे इन डिफरेंट एंगल में। फर्स्ट आई विल इनवाइट सोमिंदु to speak about the same, and Somindo will discuss the same with us. Yes, Somindo.
নমস্কার, শুভ গণেশ চতুর্থী। গঙ্গণপতয়ে নমঃ, সিদ্ধি বিনায়ক নমো নমঃ, অষ্ট বিনায়ক নমো নমঃ, গণপতি বাপ্পা মোরিয়া। আজকে শুভ গণেশ চতুর্থীর দিনে শ্রী গণেশজিকে প্রণাম করে আমার এই বক্তব্য শুরু করছি। প্রণাম স্যার, সকলকে গণেশ চতুর্থীর শুভেচ্ছা জানাই। আজকে বিষয় হচ্ছে হোয়াট ইজ যোগা। হোয়াট ইজ যোগা ইজ যোগা, যা কিছু সবই যোগ। তো মহর্ষি মুনি ঋষিরা যে বলেছেন যে জীবাত্মার সঙ্গে পরমাত্মার মিলনই হচ্ছে যোগ। এই যোগ সম্বন্ধে বিভিন্ন ঋষি মুনি, এমনকি শ্রীমদ্ ভগবত গীতায় শ্রীকৃষ্ণ বিভিন্ন যোগ সম্বন্ধে বলেছেন, সেগুলো আমি একটার পর একটা আসবো। যেমন প্রথমেই আমি শ্রীমদ্ ভগবত গীতায় বলছি যে শ্রীমদ্ ভগবত গীতায় 3য় অধ্যায় সাংখ্য যোগে 48 নম্বর শ্লোকে বলা হয়েছে, যোগস্থ কুরু কর্মাণি সঙ্গং তক্ত ধনঞ্জয় সিদ্ধা সিদ্ধ সমভূত্বা সমত্তং যোগ উচ্যতে। যে যোগে স্থিত হয়ে কর্ম করো এবং তাতে সিদ্ধি এবং অসিদ্ধি দুই আসবে, তার মধ্যে সমান ভাব রাখাই হচ্ছে যোগ। তারপরে 50 নম্বর শ্লোকে শ্রীমদ্ ভগবত গীতায় শ্রীকৃষ্ণ অর্জুনকে বলছেন, বুদ্ধিযুক্ত যাহাতিহ উভে সুকৃত দুষ্কৃতে তস্মাৎ যোগায় যুজস্ব যোগ কর্মেষু কৌশলম। অর্থাৎ কুশলতাপূর্বক কাজই হচ্ছে যোগ। তারপরে আমরা 6ষ্ঠ অধ্যায় ধ্যান যোগে 17 নম্বর শ্লোকে সেখানে কি বলা হচ্ছে, যুক্ত আরস্য বিহারস্য যুক্ত চেষ্টস্য কর্মসু যুক্ত স্বপ্ন বোধস্য যোগ ভবতি দুঃখা। যিনি পরিমিত আহার ও বিহার করেন, যিনি পরিমিত প্রয়াস করেন, যার নিদ্রা জাগরণ নিয়মিত, তিনি যোগ অভ্যাসের দ্বারা জড়জাগতিক দুঃখ থেকে মুক্তি লাভ করেন। অর্থাৎ যোগের দ্বারা দুঃখ নিবারণ হয়। এরপরে আসছি মহর্ষি পতঞ্জলি। তিনি কি বলছেন? তিনি বলছেন তার সব থেকে বিখ্যাত যে আমাদের যে চিত্তবৃত্তি সেগুলো নিরোধ করার নাম হচ্ছে যোগ। তো আমাদের যে চিত্তবৃত্তি, প্রমাণ, বিপর্যয়, বিকল্প, নিদ্রা, স্মৃতি, এই পঞ্চবৃত্তি তার নিরোধ করে চিত্তের বিকাশ ঘটানোই হচ্ছে যোগ। তিনি আবার অষ্টাঙ্গ যোগের কথাও বলেছেন। অষ্টাঙ্গ যোগে তিনি বলেছেন যম, নিয়ম, আসন, প্রাণায়াম, প্রত্যাহার, ধারণা, ধ্যান, সমাধি। তো যম এবং নিয়মকে তিনি 5 ভাগে ভাগ করেছেন। যমটা হচ্ছে অহিংসা, সত্য, অস্তেয়, ব্রহ্মচর্য, অপরিগ্রহ। আমরা জীবনে যদি অহিংসা পালন করি, কায়িক, বাচিক, মানসিক হিংসা না করি, সত্য, সত্যকে ধরে থাকা, তারপরে অস্তেয়, চুরি না করা, লোভ না করা, ব্রহ্মচর্য, ইন্দ্রিয় সংযমের মাধ্যমে আমাদের বীর্য সংরক্ষণ করা, আমাদের মনকে নিয়ন্ত্রণ করা, ইন্দ্রিয় সংরক্ষণের মাধ্যমে বিভিন্ন রকম কুচিন্তা, অশুভ চিন্তাকে থেকে মনকে নিয়ন্ত্রিত করা। এইভাবে আরো অহিংসা, সত্য, অস্ত, ব্রহ্মচর্য, অপরিগ্রহ এবং কারো কোনো কিছু দান গ্রহণ না করা। ঠিক আছে, এটা হচ্ছে যম। নিয়মের মাধ্যমে তিনি কি বলেছেন? তিনি বলেছেন শৌচ সন্তস্তপ সাধ্যা ঈশ্বর প্রণিধান। শৌচ মানে মনের এবং বাইরের শুচিতা, তারপরে সন্তোষ, আমরা যা পাচ্ছি তাতেই সন্তুষ্ট থাকা। তপ, মনকে একই দিকে নিবিষ্ট রাখা, মনকে মানে ভাটক না দেয়া, মানে এদিক ওদিক না ঘোরা, মনকে একটা নির্দিষ্ট ভাবে রাখা। সাধ্যায়, সৎ গ্রন্থ পাঠ করা, আগম দ্বারা যে সমস্ত গ্রন্থ, যেমন আগম রচিত, যেমন বেদ, উপনিষদ পাঠ করা, কোনো মন্ত্র চ্যান্টিং করা, এইগুলো। এবং ঈশ্বর পরিধান, ঈশ্বরের কাছে নিজেকে সমর্পণ করা, তার কাছে নিজেকে সমর্পণ করা, কমপ্লিট সারেন্ডার। এছাড়া তিনি আসন, প্রাণায়াম, প্রত্যাহার, ধ্যান, ধারণা, সমাধি ধারণা, ধ্যান, সমাধি এসবের কথাও তিনি বলেছেন। এভাবে মহর্ষি পতঞ্জলি। আমরা যদি দেখি কঠোপনিষদে যোগ সম্বন্ধে কি বলা হয়েছে? কঠোপনিষদে যোগ সম্বন্ধে বলা হয়েছে যে যখন মন সহ পঞ্চ জ্ঞানেন্দ্রিয় সম্পূর্ণ, পঞ্চ জ্ঞানেন্দ্রিয় বলতে চক্ষু, কর্ণ, নাসিকা, জিহ্বা, ত্বক সম্পূর্ণ নিশ্চল হয়ে পড়ে, বুদ্ধিও বিচলিত হয় না, সেই অবস্থাকে যোগের পরম গতি বা সর্বোত্তম স্থিতি বলেছে। যোগীগণ সেই সময় মানে যোগীগণ একে বলেছেন যোগ, কেননা সেই সময় যোগী প্রমাদ রহিত হন। যোগের উৎপত্তি এবং শেষ আছে, যেহেতু যোগের ভঙ্গকাল আছে, যোগীগণ সর্বান্তকরণে নিরন্তর যোগযুক্ত হয়ে তারা থাকে। এটা হচ্ছে কঠোপনিষদে যোগ সম্বন্ধে বলা আছে। তো এইভাবে বিভিন্ন যে যোগ সম্বন্ধে যে আমরা আরো আসব, যেমন আমরা হঠযোগে, হঠযোগে হ এবং ঠয়ের মিলন, হ অর্থে সূর্য, সূর্য, ঠ চন্দ্র, সূর্য চন্দ্রের মিলন, বা আমাদের পিঙ্গলা ইরার মিলন, বা আমাদের যে যমুনা গঙ্গার মিলন, এই যে হ আর ঠয়ের মিলনের মাধ্যমে যোগ সিদ্ধ হওয়া, এটা যে কি হঠযোগের কথা বলা হয়েছে, তবেই যোগ সিদ্ধ হয়। হ আর ঠয়ের মিলন, হ এবং ঠকারের মিলন। তো আমাদের যে হঠযোগী যেমন মহর্ষি সাতমারাম, তিনি হঠযোগ প্রতিপিকাতে এই যোগকে চতুরাঙ্গ যোগ বলেছেন। যে হঠযোগ প্রতিপিকায় তিনি উল্লেখ করেছেন চতুরাঙ্গ যোগের কথা। প্রথম অধ্যায়ে আসন, দ্বিতীয় অধ্যায় প্রাণায়াম, তৃতীয় অধ্যায় মুদ্রায়, চতুর্থ অধ্যায় নাদানুসন্ধান। এরপরে আসছি মহর্ষি ঘেরণ্ড, তিনি ঘেরণ্ড সংহিতাতে তিনি যোগকে সপ্তাঙ্গ যোগ বলেছেন। তিনি আবার একটা খুব সুন্দর শ্লোকে তিনি সেইটা ব্যাখ্যা করেছেন, ঠিকই, ষটকর্মণা শোধনঞ্চ আসীনন ভবে দৃঢ়ম মুদ্রয়া স্থিরতা চৈব প্রত্যাহারেণ ধীরতা প্রাণায়াম লাঘবঞ্চ ধ্যানাৎ প্রত্যক্ষ্মাত্মানি সমাধিনা নির্লিপ্তঞ্চ মুক্তিরেব ন সংশয়। তো অর্থাৎ ষটকর্মের দ্বারা দেহের শোধন হয়, তারপরে আসনের দ্বারা দৃঢ়তা প্রাপ্ত হয়, মুদ্রার দ্বারা স্থিরতা প্রাপ্ত হয়, প্রত্যাহারের দ্বারা ধীরতা প্রাপ্ত হয়, প্রাণায়ামের দ্বারা লঘুতা প্রাপ্ত হয়, ধ্যানের দ্বারা আত্মদর্শন হয় এবং সমাধির দ্বারা নির্লিপ্ত প্রাপ্ত হয়। এইভাবে মহর্ষি ঘেরণ্ড যোগকে সপ্তাঙ্গ যোগ বলে অভিহিত করেছে। এছাড়া আমরা যদি আরো যোগের যে বিভিন্ন দেখি, জ্ঞান যোগ, কর্মযোগ, রাজযোগ, এই সমস্ত যোগে আমরা দেখি যে একজন জ্ঞান যোগী তিনি কি করেন, জ্ঞানের দ্বারা যোগে যুক্ত হন। এবার জ্ঞান যোগীর কিছু কিছু তাদের ক্রাইটেরিয়া থাকে, তার বিবেক, বৈরাগ্য, শট সম্পত্তি, মুমুক্ষুত্ব, এগুলো থাকবে। তো একজন কর্মযোগী তিনি নিষ্কাম কর্মের দ্বারা যোগে যুক্ত হবেন, নিষ্কাম কর্মের দ্বারা তিনি কর্ম করে যাবেন, সেটাই তার কাছে যোগ। একজন ভক্তিযোগী তিনি নিয়ত এবং নিঃশর্তভাবে ভগবানকে তিনি সমর্পণ করবেন, ভগবানের তিনি গুণ কীর্তন করবেন, ভজন কীর্তন করবেন, তাকে সম্পূর্ণভাবে সমর্পণ করবেন, তিনি ভক্তিযোগী। তো এইভাবে আমরা যোগকে দেখি কর্মযোগে, ভক্তিযোগে, জ্ঞান যোগে। আর রাজযোগ, রাজযোগে কি বলছে, মন নিয়ন্ত্রণের দ্বারা সমাধি প্রাপ্ত হবে। তো এই হচ্ছে রাজযোগ। তো এইভাবেই যোগের বিস্তার বিরাট, তো এর কোনো শেষ নেই। তো সুতরাং আমরা এইভাবে যত নিজেকে যোগে যুক্ত হয়ে থাকতে পারবো, ততই আমরা কি হব, সেই শ্রীমদ্ ভগবদ গীতায় শ্রীকৃষ্ণের সেই উক্তি, যোগ ভবতি দুঃখহা, আমরা জড়জাগতিক যে দুঃখ, আমরা মনকে তার থেকে তুলে নিতে পারবো। এবং মহর্ষি পতঞ্জলি যে কথাটি বলেছেন, তদাদষ্টু স্বরূপে অবস্থানম, অর্থাৎ আমরা ঈশ্বরের স্বরূপে অবস্থান করব। প্রণাম, প্রণাম স্যার, প্রণাম। আমার বক্তব্য এখানে শেষ করলাম। গণপতি বাপ্পা মোরিয়া, মঙ্গল মূর্তি মোরিয়া। প্রণাম স্যার।
খুব ভালো, बहुत सुंदर तरीके से in brief he have explained everything about yoga, and I think everyone who have joined with us or who will join in future also, they will be benefited with this discussion. And now I would like to go to Paramita about the same, and will try to heard about the what is yoga from her, and little different concept about yoga and its implementation and all. So over to Paramita.
Thank you so much, sir. Wish everyone a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi. And I would particularly like to thank Shoman too for his deep insight and beautiful explanation of the definition that he took us through.
Uh,
Yes,
okay, excuse me,
yes,
Paramita. Just tilt your camera a little up because your face is halfly it is visible.
is
As
it fully visible now? Because I really can't see myself. I don't know. I am using phone, so
yes,
am I
yes,
visible?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
right. Thank
yes, yes, clearly. Thank you.
you. So, yeah,
Continue.
Commander, thank you heaps and heaps for your brief yet amazing and deep insight on yoga. That should clarify a lot of misconceptions that is on in our present day society. Because what we do in our present day society is whenever we want to know about something, we immediately log onto social media. So maybe Facebook, Instagram, and all the other apps. And what are they showing us really? They're showing us amazing postures by different people. And not only here in India, but across the world, we see such amazing postures and we think, wow, that's yoga. Yes, of course, that is yoga. But that is just only one of the limbs of yoga, which is called asana. Um, asana has been given importance in by Patanjali Muni. I'll come to that, but before that, let me begin where Sir definitely reflected upon the very fact that the word yoga comes from the root word yuj, and there's a saying that says in Sanskrit which says yuj yate anena iti yoga. So yoga is that which joins, and this root word, as Sir rightly pointed out, comes from three connotations, which is found in Panini's Dhatupata. And Panini is the famous, celebrated Sanskrit grammarian. And in his Dhatupata, we find the three definitions of Yuja Yoga, Yuja Samadhau, and Yuja Samyamani, which Sir rightfully explained. Where Yuja Yoga would mean yoking with Jivatma and Paramatma. And when we talk about Jivatma and Paramatma, first of all, we need to understand who is Jiva, what is Atma, who is Paramatma, what is Atma. So Jiva, as in the one who is Jivit, or one who is alive, is Jiv. And what is Atma? Atma is that essence which is there inside of this elemental body that is made out of elements that keeps our body ticking all throughout the life. And the moment that Atma decides that it's time for me to leave this body, the body just disintegrates into the five elements that it came from. So to reflect upon the fact, Jivatma, first of all, let us understand this Jivatma is not only just the body, it has three layers of existence. First, the body, which is the gross body, and in fact, in Upanishad, which is the fourth section of the Vedas, which is also called the Vedanta, this Jivatma has been, sorry, I lost my thought there. I'll just come back to something else. I was explaining about Jivatma. So there are three layers of existence, I said, and the three layers of existence is this body, mind, and spirit construct. Mind is the bridge between the spirit and the body, whereas the body is made up of elements, and there are five elements to this body, which are we mostly know. The very gross element is earth or prithvi. Then the second element is apa or water element. The third element is fire or tej element. The fourth element is air or the wind element, and the fifth element is space. So even about this element, if I just bring a brief insight into these elements. So what are elements? And if I just try and join it with the modern scientific concept and the elemental concept, elements are nothing but everything in this universe is made up of atoms, right? So when we say earth element, earth is not really the planet Earth that we are talking about here. Earth is those atoms, those very atoms that make up the entire construct of this universe. In fact, they say Yatha Pinda Tatha Brahmande. Pinda, once again, is the Jeev Atma. We'll come to the Atma part later. Atma is the spirit. And but before that, Pinda is this whole body, mind, spirit construct. And Brahma, Anda, once again, is the egg. The Brahma is the creation, the entire manifested energy or the entire universe. In fact, they say there are multiverses. There's not just one universe, there are multiverses, and there are alternate verses as well. So the entire creation, whatever is created, is made out of atoms. And depending upon the speed of the atoms, when the speed of the atoms completely slows down and everything, I mean, when the speed of the atoms slow down, the atoms come towards one another and it solidifies and it forms that structure which we called earth element. Then there are a few faculties and qualities of the earth element, as in earth would be something that is solid, something that is volume, something that is that has structure, so on and so forth. When the speed of the atom increases a bit, it turns to form the water element. Now, water, as in not the water in, not necessarily the water in the rivers and the oceans, but we also have water not only inside of our body in the form of blood, but there is the water element even at the cellular level, which is the cytoplasm. The earth element is the cell membrane, which is solid, which gives the structure to the cell. And also bones and cartilages would be compared to the earth element. And then when the speed of the atom further increases, it forms the fire element. We can take the fire element down to, I mean, we can see fire in the universe. Of course, when we strike a matchstick, we find the fire, and the fire element is also there available inside of our body in the form of the gastric juices that our digestive system produces inside of our stomach. What is that fire element inside of the cell? That fire element would be the DNA, the RNA, or the ribonucleic acid, DNA, I'm forgetting the full form, which basically forms the gene structure of your body. That is the fire element. When the atomic speed increases a bit more, it turns to form the air element. As in, the speed has increased and they are, getting dispersed one from the other. It forms the air element. Every movement inside of our body is because of that air element, because air is nothing but movement. We feel air in the outside, and we also feel as the form of the element inside of our body, as in when we breathe in, that's the air. We feel that air inside of us, and we breathe out, so we feel that air. And not only that, we have a whole lot of gaps starting right from our opening of the mouth and opening of the nose, and right to the mouth. There's this alimentary canal that passes right along inside of our, goes right through our windpipe and the stomach and so on and so forth, the small intestine, large intestine, and out through the anal opening. So this is the air element, and air element is also present inside of the cell, each and every cell, in the form of the movement. A lot of movement happens inside of the cell. Cell itself is a factory. It produces energy for us. Oxygen gets inside. There's something called cell respiration, which includes inspiration and expiration. Oxygen moves inside. It, mixes up with the glucose. It forms ATP, or the adenosine triphosphate, which we feel in our body as energy. And also air passes outside. The carbon dioxide is let out. A lot of things that need to get out of the cells, as in the cell debris, etc., so on and so forth. So this movement, what happens in the outside world, in the universe, also inside of the body, also inside of the cell, is the air element. When the speed increases further, speed of the atoms increases further, it forms the space element. Space is nothing but emptiness, or the space where movement can happen. So, so these 5 elements make up the human body, and in Ayurveda, there are personalities that make up these 5 elements. I'm not getting into the detail, because Ayurveda is called the sister science of yoga. So I was just about to reflect a little. Maybe I will. Uh, in fact, depending on these elements and how active the elements are in our body, personalities are defined. So some of the personalities are Kapha personalities, some of the personalities are Pitta personalities, some of the personalities are Vata personalities. So the Kapha personalities are the ones whose earth and water elements are far more active than the other elements, because all 5 elements are present all across the universe, even in this body, down to the cellular level. The Pitta personalities are the ones whose fire and water elements are far more active than the other 3 elements. And the Vata personalities are the ones whose air and space elements are far more active than the rest 3. And basically these personalities, these are called the doshas or the humors of the body. There are also qualities of the mind, which is called sattva, raja, and tama. Depending on the type of mind, Ayurveda defines our mental qualities as sattvic. Sattvic as in whatever is pure, whatever is light, whatever is beautiful, all those are sattvic. So what is the rajasic quality? You know, the word rajasic has the word raja in it. Raja is in the king. So the king is all about action. So anything to do with action, and action means duality. If the action is pleasurable, then you are happy. If the action is, not so pleasurable, then you're sad. So you're caught up. The mind is caught up in that duality, where there is pain, where there is expectations, and so on and so forth. So that is rajasic. And tamasic, where the mind doesn't really function the way it should, as in there are chitta bhumis in the mind, as in the mind is not exactly manas, but mind here means chitta. I'll come to it. In fact, the word chitta is also mentioned, like Shomendu mentioned in the definition of Patanjal Muni of yoga, that yoga chitta vritti nirodha. So here I'm referring to chitta when I say mind. All right. So a tamasic mind is basically which doesn't really function, and it'll be easier for us to understand if we get into the chitta bhumi, which was rightfully explained by Veda Vyasa in his commentary on the Patanjal Yoga Sutra, which is called Yoga Bhasya. He gave away the chitta bhumi. So there are a couple of types of mind, and it'll be easier for us to understand what tamasic mind by that. So he says there is a kind of mind which is murha, which doesn't function at all, which is all dull, and it is called the donkey mind. It doesn't function at all. So that mind which is totally dull and doesn't function is the tamasic mind. In fact, it is not supposed to be looked down upon. For example, when we are sleeping, we are at a state of tamas. Tamas is also required in our daily activity for us to regain the energy that we require to go through the day. But anyway, that was a lot about the body and the body's personality. I also reflected about the mind. So second construct makes the body and the mind and the spirit construct. The second construct, which is the mind, like I was saying, like Veda Vyasa. In fact, Veda Vyasa is the compiler of the Vedas. He also scripted the Mahabharata, and he has several other work. And he also wrote Yoga Bhasya, which is the commentary on Patanjal. So, like the donkey mind that he defined as Murha, he said there is another element, another type of mind, which is called the Shiptam, or the monkey mind. Shiptam as in it is all over the place. It cannot really concentrate, and it cannot really stay at one place. It is called the Shiptam, a state of mind, the second stage of Chitta Bhumi. I'll come to the definition of Chitta a little later after I'm finished with this. Then we have the Vikshiptam mind. Vikshiptam as in which is called the butterfly mind, as in the mind is trying to focus, and there's an element of
Okay, maybe there is a problem with internet connection, and she might join back very soon. We'll continue our discussion about the same. That is, our main topic is what is yoga? Yoga is none other than a discipline, but we are listening from her. I think Paramita have joined again. Yes,
yes, sir. I'm
Paramita,
sorry. There was
you can
some
continue.
yes. Thank you so much. There was some internet issues, some internet network connectivity issues. So where I was talking about the Vikshipta mind, which cannot stay focused at one place, and it's the butterfly mind. When you're multitasking, our mind, jumps from one place on and so forth. So that is the butterfly mind. Then there's this fourth state of mind, which is called crane mind or the ekagra mind. As in, when you've taken a task, like the crane when it tries to catch a fish from the lake, it is so focused that it can just by the sweep of its beak can catch a fish, and that's that. So your ekagra mind is when you're totally focused on your activity and the mind doesn't move from here and there until and unless you want it to shift. But the fifth state of mind, which is the ultimate, which has the ultimate power, which is called the niruddha, as in only when you attain samadhi, and there are 8 stages to samadhi, I'm not getting there, but only when you attain a certain level of transcendence, when you get inside of samadhi, is when you can harbor that much control, where it is niruddha, as in it is the mastered mind, as in it stays focused at one place, at one bhumi at a time, and and it gets, when it is focused, everything becomes one. The one who is concentrating, the object of concentration, and the process of concentration becomes one. So these 3 elements, when they become one, that is also yoga. Yoga is union, and that is the ultimate actually objective of yoga, to bring the person who is in the act of yoga, the process of union, and whatever that person is trying to unite with, that when those 3 states unite together, that is the ultimate objective in the state, which is called yoga. So this was about the mind. We spoke about the body, we spoke about the mind, and now let's come to the third element, which makes us, or the humans, a complete human. This body is not only just human, this body has a mind, and the mind communicates between the spirit and the body. Now let's come to the spirit. And when we were talking about yoga, which is the union of Jivatma and Paramatma, we said when Jivatma unites with Paramatma, it is called yoga. And that is where the discussion took off from. Now we have defined Jiva, let's talk about Atma. In fact, very interestingly, the word atom has been taken from the word Atma. Our own research, we will see that the atom was taken from Atma. Atom is inexhaustible. It's something that no one today, modern science says it. No one created atoms. No one will be able to destroy atoms. They are just there. They're eternal. They're infinite, and because there was no creation, there will be no destruction. Atma is exactly that. There's a shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Excuse me, I'll not be able to give you the exact chapter or the shloka number, but this is how the shloka goes. Najayate vakadachin, najayate mriyate vakadachin, as in something that you cannot burn, something that does not die. Nayang bhutta bhavitva na va bhuya, as in something that does not have past, present, or future. Ajo, Nitya, Shashwat, as in something that has forever existed and shall forever exist, which is eternal. No Hannate, Hanuman Sharire, as in something that cannot be slain, even when when it continues to live inside of this body, which is completely mortal, which can be killed and which can be destroyed. But let us also bring our focus to the fact that the body can be destroyed, but the very fact that the atoms make up the body also says that the body cannot, it can disintegrate into atoms, something that it came from, and it will go back to its original state of being atoms, but even the body does not really die. When we see breath or the prana that lives inside of the body comes out of the body, and we call it a situation of death. And depending on the religion, some will bury the body, some will set the body on fire. There are religions who put the body on a wooden log, will float it on the water so that animals can nibble on it. And the very fact that there is universal interdependence, once again, universal interdependence is also yoga, because it is also unison. If I feed my body to the birds, it's the bird's body that is growing, right? My body is disintegrating into atoms, yes, but it's the bodies of the birds that are getting life from my body. So this is very universal interdependence that today I think we need to bring a lot of focus to, because as we have been down from the huge agro-based society, from the joint families to the nuclear families, this generation does not even want a family. This generation, which is probably the ones who are in their teens, they would say we won't marry. So they do not even look for the nuclear family. They say we just want to live alone. But this aloneness does not exist in the universe. All that exists in the universe is yoga, as in that universal, eternal, infinite, universal coexistence, interdependence. Because I am, the universe is, and because the universe is, I am. This very fundamental essence. I can't live without air. I can't live without water. I can't live without my family, my society, this world, this country. The very understanding of this very fact that we need harmony, we need people around us, but also we need harmony inside of us. The harmony that we were talking about in all three levels of our body, mind, and spirit. The spirit, which is Atma, which exists and therefore we are. It's not the other way around. It's not that just because the body exists, the Atma exists. No, if that were the case, then there would not be any death. There would not, mothers would not produce dead bodies. It's because the spirit is that we are. So, and spirit, like the way we define it, and this very unison, the body, mind, spirit construct, this is the Jivatma. And what is Paramatma? Param, the word very Param means something is eternal, something that is true. In fact, the word Param also has the word Para, and there are basically two types of knowledge, Paravidya and Aparavidya. So Paravidya is all. Vidya means, once again, the word Vidya comes from the root word Vid, from where Veda also comes. So Vid is knowledge, eternal knowledge, or eternal wisdom. So Paravidya is the knowledge of the beyond, or the knowledge of the unmanifest. And Aparavidya is the knowledge of existence. So the word Paramatma also has para, as in something that is the unmanifest. So when this Jivatma unites with Paramatma, that is yoga. Once again, I'm not getting into the other definition, but I would also like to, elucidate upon the fact that Sir briefly touched upon, which is Yoga Samadhau. As for Patanjal Muni, Samadhau is samadhi or concentration. Samadhi can only happen when we have mastered all the 8 limbs of Patanjal Yoga Sutra. And once again, as Shaumindu rightly pointed out, the definition that Patanjal Muni gave in his second shloka, which is Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, requires us to, bring us to that state where we are in the state of samadhi. The word samadhi has two syllables in it, sama and adhi. Just like we have vyadhi, vyadhi means the illness of the body. Adhi means, or dis-ease of the body, dis-ease, and that is called disease. So just like the body is sometimes diseased, the mind is also diseased, and that disease of the
Okay, Paramita's voice is not coming. Just check your.
oh, sorry.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Now
I'm
it's
so sorry. I do not know till how far I progress. So I'll want.
just only what is yoga? Yoga.
Okay. So yeah, no, I was talking about samadhi. How Patanjali Muni brought the essence of yoga in samadhi. Samadhi. I mean, the entire essence of yoga is brought down to that one concept of sayoma. Sayoma, as in dharana, samadhi. All three of these limbs put together is sayama. As in, once we have experienced sayama, we are in that state of yoga wherein we have realized that aham brahmasmi, tattvamasi, as in I am Brahman. And it's no more a theoretical knowledge, because by then, once we experience samadhi, and in fact, the ultimate state of samadhi is dharma mega samadhi, where we reach the Kaivalya state, we realize that there is no difference. There is no difference between you, there is no difference between me, there's no difference between Sir, Shom, anything. We all are one. That oneness, that wholeness, that this universe is one, this world is one, the human race is one, and that today I think it's the time of the hour where we call even the religion is one, and the religion must be yoga. That is union or unison. We have seen how authority have divided us, the human race, in the name of geography, in the name of politics, in the name of religion. But today it is time for us to unite, and unite all in the name of yoga, because the fundamental essence of yoga is union or unison. So talking about samadhi, I'll just put a brief definition to that. That is, adi is the dis-ease of the mind, right? Sam means perfect or balanced. When we have attained that balanced state of mind, it is the mind which does not let us see our own real self. It does not help us see that aham brahmasmi. So once we have studied the mind by getting into that state of transcendence, which is called samadhi, we will see that there exists no chitta vritti. Vrittis are, in short, vrittis are those that Shomenti already spoke about, pramana viparya, vikalpa nitra smitaya. All of these, afflictions of the mind keep us in the realization that we are just this body. We are only human, and we are mortal, and we are in this body. But once we are in that state of yoga, by practicing all the 8 limbs of yoga, like Shomendu pointed out, once we enter the state of samadhi, we will know that yoga is all that there is. Whatever exists is in the state of yoga. And when you really go out and want to seek an answer to the question, what is yoga? You know that what is yoga. There is nothing over and beyond yoga. And also a few definitions that I would like to add on to whatever Shomendu has added. One of the other definition of yoga from Bhagavad Gita in chapter number 6, sloka number 23, it is called Tam Vidyad Dukkha Samyoga Vyogam Yoga Sannitam Sanishtayana Yoktavya Yoga Nirvana Chetasah. It means the state of severance from misery is yoga. So when we sever a sense of misery, that state is called yoga, and this yoga must be resolutely practiced with determination and being free from pessimism. So once we sever that union of misery, or once we sever that understanding that misery is the fundamental essence of life, the state that we are in is yoga. Also, Yajnavalkya in Garuda Purana defined yoga as samyoga, yoga iti yukta jivatura paramatmanah, or unification of individual self with that of the higher self. That we rightly spoke about when we said that when Jivatma uses the Paramatma, that is yoga. And also another one last definition of yoga, which we find in Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. It is called Mana Prashamanupaya Yoga iti Vikyate. As in, everybody talks about, quietening the mind. So even here in Yoga Vasishtha, when you quieten the mind, Mana Prashaman Upaya. Upaya as in the way. Prashaman as in enlighten. When you stop the mind, yoga happens automatically. So, in fact, one of the other, what's his name? Vedavyasa, in his commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he defined yoga as yogena yoga gyatavya, as in you can only know yoga through yoga. Why? That also he mentioned. Because yoga aiva upadhyayaya. Upadhyay as in the guru or the teacher. Yoga itself is the guru who allows you to know yoga, and that is how you know yoga. It's almost like you can't be learning to swim by standing on the brink of the water. You have to get inside of the water to understand yoga. So to be able to understand that yoga is whatever there is, and there cannot be anything over and above yoga, we welcome you all, whoever is listening, to come and join us in our journey of happiness along with yoga and happiness, to understand and realize that each one of us are established in yoga, whether or not we know it, whether or not we acknowledge it, whether or not we are aware of it. So that let's start getting aware. Let's start having that acknowledgement that we are in yoga. That's a successful journey. And also, I would like to end this session and my quote by saying that the essence of human life has been given to us, and they say there are 4 reasons why we take human birth, and which is called Purushartha Chatushtaya, as in Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And I'm not getting into the details, but the last and final the objective of life is emancipation from moksha, or liberation, which will only happen when we realize that the essence is Aham Brahmasmi. So thank you so much for giving me a patient listen, patient here. Thank you so much, sir, for allowing me to speak on this topic. I thoroughly enjoyed, and I really hope that all of you guys were with me as we spoke and discussed. And I really love the way Sir conducted it. Someone beautiful and brief insight. I thank you all. And
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your brief knowledge about yoga and its understanding. I think who have joined across the different platforms, you all have a good insight about yoga. As today is the Ganesh Chaturthi, so we can connect with yoga with the Ganesh Chaturthi also, because we know Sri Ganesha is a Siddhidata. Okay. So in yoga also there is, and Siddhi in yoga or Indian philosophy, there is written about Siddhi, and that Siddhis are Ashta Siddhi. If we, because this Lord Ganesha, he can give us all those Siddhis. There is Anima, Mahima, Garima, Laghima, Prapti, Prakama, Ishuddha, Vashuddha. These 8 are known as Ashta Siddhi. So, just we can see in the Hanuman, he has that Ashta Siddhi. And this Lord Ganesha or Gajapati, he have that power to give us that Ashta Siddhi. So In different way, we'll discuss about Ashtasiddhi in detail. But Anima, what is that? Who have this power, they could able to small, or they can become just only one molecule, and they can minimize their body. That is Anima. Mahima, they could able to expand their body as fast as just like a big things, or just like a parvat or mountain. Garima, who could able to gain lot of weight, means no one could able to push him or her. Laghima, they could able to fly in the air. Prapti, whatever they are willing to, wherever they are willing to go, they can go with this siddhis. That is called Prapti. Prakamya, whatever he is willing to have, or something, if he or she is asking for, they will get that thing. That is called Prakamya. Ishutta, means they could able to control any materials. Vasitva, they could able to gain control of any living creature in this world. That is called Vashitva. Means for living creature, that is Vashitva. Ishutva is the any material. The controlling of any material, that is called Ishutva. Maybe it sounds just like we are talking about any Superman movie, but that is not. In yoga, all these siddhis are mentioned about who are the yogi they could able to gain with the practice of yoga. So we heard about the yoga and its what is yoga and what is yoga. Means everything is related to yoga. मतलब इस पृथ्वी में जो भी कुछ जुड़ा हुआ है, what is, जो भी कुछ है, that is yoga. मतलब ऐसे नहीं है कि आपको योग का अभ्यास करने के लिए कहीं पे जाना होगा, जंगल पे जाना है, आपको पर्वत में जाना है, कोई समुद्र के किनारे जाना है, कुछ भी नहीं, nothing. Just staying at your home, you could able to practice yoga. We can see the Lord Krishna. He is a Yogeshwar. He never left his home, but he is known as Yogeshwar because of his work. So आप कहीं पे भी हो, कोई भी सिचुएशन में हो, आप अगर योग को अपनाते हो, योग को समझते हो कि ये इट इज ए पार्ट ऑफ Indian philosophy. Indian philosophy is divided by in main two parts, Astik and Nastik. Astik who believes in Vedas, who has मतलब जो वेद को एज ए प्रमाण ग्रंथ के रूप में मानते हैं, they are called Astik, and who don't believe in Veda, they are called Nastik. This Astik, there are 6 philosophy: न्याय, वैशेषिक, सांख्य, योग, पूर्व मीमांसा, उत्तर मीमांसा. तो फ्रॉम हियर द योग कम्स. योग का ये जो फिलोसॉफिकल पार्ट है, ये बहुत स्ट्रांग है. इसलिए कोई व्यक्ति सिर्फ और सिर्फ आसन को अगर योग समझेंगे तो बहुत गलत होगा, क्योंकि योग में, अष्टांग योग में महर्षि पतंजलि वो 8 अंग के बारे में चर्चा किए हैं: यम, नियम, आसन, प्राणायाम, प्रत्याहार, धारणा, ध्यान, समाधि. Whereas, जैसे सौमित्र ने भी बताया कि करंड संहिता में सप्त अंग योग के बारे में चर्चा किया गया है, 7 अंग है. लेकिन ये सब कुछ अगर अभ्यास करेंगे तब वो योग होता है. मतलब कोई एक को अभ्यास करेंगे तो वो योग नहीं होगा. जैसे कोई सिर्फ 6 मार सकते हैं तो वो क्रिकेट प्लेयर नहीं हो सकता. उनको फील्डिंग भी आना चाहिए, उनको डिफरेंट डिफरेंट, जैसे कोई अगर कैच भी पकड़ना आना चाहिए, सिर्फ वो छक्का मारने से ही नहीं होगा। वैसे ही योग में कोई सिर्फ आसन करने से योग नहीं होगा, उनको प्राणायाम भी करना है, उनको यम भी पालन करना है, नियम भी पालन करना है, तब जाके वो योगी या योग का अभ्यास करी कहलाएंगे। तो योग को अगर समझना है तो इट इज ए वे ऑफ लाइफ, जीवन को कैसे बिताना है। जैसे जीवात्मा से परमात्मा, आज हम लोग बहुत बार सुने हैं, या जीवन से दुख को हटाना है। जीवात्मा से परमात्मा को मिलाएंगे, क्यों मिलाएंगे? बिकॉज वी आर विलिंग टू बी हैप्पी ऑल द वे। नो वन इज आस्किंग और सीकिंग फॉर सॉरो। मतलब कोई इस पृथ्वी में ऐसा नहीं है कि जो ये सोचते हैं कि कैसे मुझे दुख मिले। नो वन विल बी देयर इन दिस वर्ल्ड। क्यों नहीं होता है और क्यों नहीं चाहते हैं लोग? बिकॉज वो ये चाहते हैं कि उसको किसी भी रूप से उनको आनंद ही आनंद में वो रहे, ब्लिसफुल स्टेट ऑफ माइंड में वो रहे। और अगर वो ब्लिसफुल स्टेट ऑफ माइंड में रहेंगे तब भी वही योग है। आप अगर कुछ भोजन कर रहे हो एंड यू आर फीलिंग सो कनेक्टेड, दैट इज योगा। इफ यू आर रीडिंग एंड आपको ये लग रहा है कि अच्छा जो भी मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, तो यू आर योगा। आप टीवी देख रहे हो और टीवी में आप आनंद में टीवी देख रहे हो, देन यू आर डूइंग योगा ऑल्सो। ऐसा नहीं है, योग का अभ्यास करने के लिए आपको कोई दूसरे जगह पे जाना होगा, कुछ करना होगा। व्हेनेवर यू आर कनेक्टेड विद योरसेल्फ, दैट इज योगा। तो योग को समझना ऐसे ही, मतलब सिर्फ इसीलिए आज का जो टॉपिक यहाँ पे पारमिता ने ही इनको सजेस्ट किया था कि सर वी कैन पुट द टॉपिक ऑफ व्हाट इज योगा, व्हाट इज योगा। तो इसीलिए मतलब जो भी कुछ है सब कुछ योग है। ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ आसन योग है, सिर्फ प्राणायाम योग है, सिर्फ बंधा योग है, सिर्फ मुद्रा योग है। एवरीथिंग इज योग। तो आप अगर आसन भी अभ्यास कर रहे हैं लेकिन उसमें आनंद नहीं है तो वो भी योग नहीं है। ये ध्यान रखना है कि अगर आप योग आसन अभ्यास कर रहे हो तो यू नीड टू फील द हैप्पीनेस ऑफ दैट पोस्चर। उस पोस्चर का हैप्पीनेस जब तक आपको फील नहीं होगा, दैट इज नॉट आसना और दैट इज नॉट योगा। इसीलिए आसन का जो डेफिनेशन है हम लोग देख सकते हैं, दैट इज उसमें लिखा जाता है कि नहीं, आसन का डेफिनेशन स्थिर सुकुमासनम, और उसमें है प्रयत्न शीतरणंत समापतिभ्याम, तब आएगा तत्वदंतानाभिघात। तब शीत उष्णादि कोई भी दंत का आघात नहीं रहेगा। तो ये शीत उष्णादि कोई भी दंत का आघात नहीं रखने के लिए जो करना है, दैट इज वो आसन का अभ्यास सही रूप से करना है। आसन को समझना भी है सही रूप से, तब जाके आप इसको समझ पाएंगे, इसको जान पाएंगे और इसको अभ्यास भी करेंगे। सो यू शुड practice this yoga all the time. I think Paramita have put some light on that topic, that we have 4 stage: Jagrat Avastha, Sapna Avastha, Susupti Avastha and Turiya Avastha. हर एक जगह पे, in every sector, we have to put ourselves in that way कि आप किसी भी तरह से अपना मन को कनेक्टेड रखोगे विद द हाईएस्ट स्पिरिचुअलिटी और हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ स्पिरिचुअलिटी, तब जाके वो योग कहलाएंगे। अदरवाइज दैट विल बी नॉट अ योगा, दैट इज ओनली मे बी यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग सम postures, maybe you are practicing something else, but that is not yoga at all. So if you are willing to practice yoga, definitely you have to practice in certain way जिसमें आपको आनंद के साथ आप अभ्यास कर पाओगे, आप आनंद के साथ इनको समझ पाओगे और आनंद के साथ ही आप इसको खुद को आगे लेके जा पाओगे। तो यही उपेक्षा रखते हैं कि आई बिलीव दैट यू हैव गॉट सम आइडिया अबाउट दिस टॉपिक, कि आज हम लोग जो भी चर्चा करने की कोशिश किए हैं, आपको इसमें थोड़ा बहुत जानकारी आया होगा, एंड डेफिनेटली विल सी यू इन नेक्स्ट। कि आप कोई भी ऐसे, वी हैव several courses with us, you can join with us also, and yes, योग को जानने के लिए आपको जरूर you need to learn it from a yoga teacher। तो जो भी आपका योग टीचर के साथ आप संपर्क कीजिए, बिकॉज you can buy a yoga book by with the just Patanjali Yoga Sutra, you can buy it by 20 rupees or 30 rupees, but to understand it, it is too difficult। तो इसलिए अगर आपको योग के बारे में जानना है, पतंजलि योग सूत्र के बारे में जानना है, या भगवत गीता के बारे में जानना है, तो जरूर आपके पास इसका नॉलेज संपूर्ण रूप से होना चाहिए। Then you could able to understand it, or you could able to memorize it, or you can, क्या बोलते हैं, ये शरीर में आपका एक्युमुलेशन होना चाहिए। जैसे हम लोग पानी पीते हैं और वो शरीर में घुल जाते हैं, वैसे योग भी आप अपना जीवन में वैसे ही घुलना चाहिए। कि ऐसा नहीं है कि हम 1 घंटा योग प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, ऐसा नहीं। ऑलवेज जब भी आप बात करेंगे, आप कहीं पे भी रहेंगे, आप योग में ही हैं, योग से आप दूर नहीं हो, इस विचार से आपको रहना। और उपेक्षा रखते हैं आज का जो भी हम लोगों का चर्चा हुआ है, कि आपको थोड़ा बहुत नॉलेज जरूर प्राप्त हुआ होगा। आप लोग जरूर योग से जुड़े रहिए, एवरीडे योग का ऑलवेज 24/7 प्रैक्टिस करते रहिए, एंड ऑलवेज गुड थॉट्स या अच्छा चीज ही आप ध्यान रखिए, सो दैट क्या होगा कि यू विल गेट पॉजिटिविटी ऑल द वे, एंड तब देखेंगे देयर इज नो सॉरो इन लाइफ। अदरवाइज व्हाट विल हैपन, यू विल बी सो डिप्राइव। मतलब आपको ये होगा क्या, मेरा तो जीवन का कुछ उद्देश्य है ही नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। तो ऑलवेज इट शुड बी कनेक्टेड विथ योरसेल्फ। अगर ये आप खुद से कनेक्टेड रहोगे, तो यू विल बी सो प्लीज्ड और हैप्पीएस्ट पर्सन इन दिस वर्ल्ड। तो जो भी हम लोग के आसपास है, हम खुद जुड़े हुए हैं, एवरीथिंग इज योगा। तो जो भी कुछ है सभी योग है, सब आप सिर्फ उनसे जुड़ जाइए, तो ही आप योगी या योग में है ये कहलाएंगे, और कुछ नहीं चाहिए। तो उपेक्षा रखते हैं, जरूर आप लोग हमसे जुड़े हुए रहेंगे, और नेक्स्ट में ऐसे हम लोग डिफरेंट टॉपिक के ऊपर चर्चा भी करेंगे। एवरी वीक योग अड्डा, हम लोग अभी सीरीज स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं। वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट ए सीरीज ऑफ योगा अड्डा। एवरी वीक will come to you people to speak about some topic on yoga. You can connect with us, you can talk with that, you can write your comments if you have any doubt, or if you are willing to discuss with us, you can join with us also in live chat in different platforms, so we could able to answer your questions and we'll move forward. So hope we have given our today's whatever we are willing to speak. Paramita, is it okay? We can.
Yes, sir. That was a very, very nice and insightful session. I really and thoroughly enjoyed it all. It's beautiful, and this concept of yoga, I think, will appeal to en masse, because that is something we as a Bengali, community we associate a lot. So I think it's a brilliant idea, and whatever you shared about yoga being happiness resonated with me so much, and I'm sure it resonated with all our audience here and everyone. It was beautiful.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining with us.